Hi, I'm Keith Decent, and today we're going to collaborate with my good friend Tim Sway to build this carpeted guitar. Because why not? A while back, Tim messaged me and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing with your carpets. Let's do a guitar with a carpet on it. Just to see if we could do it, you know?" So we had some brainstorming ideas and we came up with this drippy flying V shape, and it was up to me to do the rug part, and I had to come up with the rug pattern, like what we were going to put on top of this. Like, I didn't want it to just be a solid color, and we had basically gone over, like, should it be an homage to a famous musician or a famous carpet even, like the Overlook hotel carpet in The Shining, or famous airport carpets. And after having tried a bunch of different patterns, you can see here in the bottom, various pile heights, kind of 70s ugly shag stuff, I decided to go glam. So I busted out the tufting gun and got to work on what is essentially a very late 70s Bowie vibe mixed with an early 80s Cheap Trick kind of vibe, with a little bit of hair metal thrown in for good measure. The silver yarn I'm using on the cheetah print is half regular yarn, half glitter yarn, and I'm using this stack of neons to do the lightning bolt and a couple of little shadow details on it. Now, my tufting gun and my supplies I kind of get from everywhere. The gun itself I got from Tuft the World, which is an account that has their own website, which is, I believe it's at tuftinggun.com. I trust them. The first gun I got was terrible. This one's great. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's very, very fun and rewarding. It's a great process. And if it's something you want to try out, I recommend looking into it now if you have a little bit of interest, because sometimes these guns take a few months to arrive, and they cost a few $100 on average. Also, let me mention the first terrible gun I got that kind of broke and exploded in my hands, not from that website I mentioned. So, yeah, do your research, find a good gun, don't make a rush decision, because it could literally blow up in your face. And sometimes you're doing something like making a carpeted guitar, and then a guy who's famous for playing a big fuzzy bass dies, and rest in peace, Dusty Hill. This is not intended as a tribute to him, but you know what? If you want it to be, that's cool, man. You do you. Like, it can be a tribute to Dusty Hill. I'm okay with that. I'm sure Tim's okay with that. And speaking of Tim Sway, he's going to have the second half of this video on his channel, and it's going to be the amazing guitar build itself, and us putting it together. And I had been in constant contact with Tim during this process, so after I had put the carpet adhesive on, which you're watching here, and then set it out in the sun to dry and basically get to the final stages, I sent him a little preview picture in which he noticed a small detail that I had overlooked. I made the whole thing backwards, and I had to start over. So, that's what we're going to do, but we're going to double time it from this point on. So doing it a second time allowed me to make a couple of changes that I think I had noticed along the way, and to move a little bit quicker. I left off some of the colored trim, I took out some of the blue, I think it looked a little too busy and was distracting from the overall form. I added a bigger border, because this is a digital file that was made into two separate objects by two separate people, one of which had to project on the canvas and then make it into a rug. So there's going to be some inaccuracies between our builds, and I wanted to give Tim as much leeway as possible in what he could trim off, fold over, hide, etc. And we're back where we need to be, footage-wise. So my part's over. I wrapped this up, I mailed it to Tim Sway, and here's a little preview of what the guitar sounds like. So while posting progress pics, a lot of people had questions about tone, sustain, sound. I hope that answers those questions. Check out my Instagram for more fun. Check out my podcast to learn some stuff, ftgupodcast.com. And please, check out Tim's video. It's incredible. The thought and the detail and the creativity that went into his part of this build are just so entertaining. Until next time, later, makers.